G'day squaddies, Alex and Tom here. Today we have a mini review on
the Nerf Hammershot mod, and
specifically the SlyDev custom 3D printed priming hammer. Before we get to that though, the main mods that we've done to both our Hammershots, we've taken out the air restrictor, so when you actually prime it and then fire it, the hammer snaps back really quickly, so
without a slow retraction time like it was unmodded.
Exactly, and one of the big problems with that is if you wanted to do any fan firing or quickly priming it again, if it was sort of stuck halfway in transition from being really slow, it can cause firing problems.
Yeah, like misfires or, you know, just spill outs here, that sort of thing.
Yep. Tom's blaster is the American version with the stronger spring, and mine is the Australian grey trigger version. But for both of them we added some little plastic rings to help compress the spring. The other mods that we did is on Tom's, I put a little O-ring on the front here, just where the turret presses up against this main bit on the front. That just helps push the turret back a little bit closer towards the end of the plunger tube, so you get a better seal. And that goes hand in hand with the air restrictor removal as well, so not only does all the air come out in one go, but it's increasing the seal so less air is escaping behind the turret rather than actually coming out the end of the barrel. On mine, one thing I'm going to do to Tom's eventually is I've put some little brass stubs in there. That just helps create a slightly tighter fit for custom darts, or if you've got elite darts that are a little bit worn out. It's a 17/32 inch size diameter brass. We found that ZombieStrike darts tend to be a little bit thicker, even after they've been used a little bit. Brand new in particular, they're a bit thicker.
They're almost the same sort of density as the regular N-Strike ones, the first original ones.
Yeah, more like the regular streamlines and stuff, and the pink ones, not the elite ones. Yeah.
So you won't get much difference in performance and all that stuff, because essentially, like N-Strike Elite darts, then not really accurate at all, but you know, one of the most effective, at least. As
far as the Hammershot mods go, we have seen much more increased range, particularly the dart speed. That's been a really big boost in doing these mods, and then allowing us to put the new hammer in, particularly for Tom with his fan firing, which we'll demonstrate in a minute. The problem with the standard hammer on the Hammershot is that it's very small in length and it's fairly high up, and particularly after it's been raised like that. Sometimes it can be a little bit tricky trying to get your hand all the way behind that without a bit of practice. Thank you. But particularly for fan firing, I mean, again, I couldn't actually prime that down all the way. It does have a tendency to snap back because your hand doesn't have a lot to grip or press down on. Whereas with the SlyDev one,
because it's longer, you know, you can access it easier, you know, you have more to press on, and, you know, it curves, slides off your hand quite easily too, so like really, you know, you got more grip on it, and it's still, you know, for single handed firing, you know, it is tricky to pull it down because it's quite longer than the original, but having said that, you can, if you use it two-handedly, you know, you can definitely use it quite easily as well, so that's definitely a plus.
Yeah, definitely.
Alright guys, it's time for a quick firing test. All we're going to do is check out how it feels and looks for this new SlyDev hammer for the Hammershot. So we're going to do 3 firings. The first one we'll just show off the 5 ones single-handedly, then another two-handedly like that, and then we'll do another one with the fan firing as well.
So basically we had a bit of trouble trying to single hand prime it like so. Tom found that when you get your thumb around it from the side like that, it really helps, but it involves sort of kicking the blaster back or forwards like that in order to do so. Tom also found that two-handed, very good, and I found that the way that it's sort of, when you're fan firing, almost like it's rubbing back off your hand as you come off the hammer, very comfortable. This is a version 2 of the trigger, there is a version 1.
But having said that, the version 1, you know, despite having, you know, a much larger hook on it, and having, you know, the much smaller one, you know, having to be able to use both fanning and, you know, single firing, you know, I mean, it was useful in that regard, but, you know, it just looked too much like a chicken's crest.
Yeah, so we didn't quite like the look of the version 1, so we stuck with the version 2.
Yeah, it has a more authentic look to an actual, you know, hammer action revolver.
Yeah, and particularly for this guy being a fan of fan firing. Yeah, like so. We thought we'd give the version 2 a crack, but depending on your functionality or aesthetic preference, definitely choose between the version 1 or the version 2 wisely. Otherwise, just get both. Thanks for watching, Squaddies, and we'll catch you next time.